Today's topic will be about Zapier integration update that we recently did. So I'll be going over some of the just minor updates that we recently did with our Zapier integration process. After that, we can then proceed with the Q&A session. If you have anything specific. Good morning, everyone. So, by the way, my name is Anthony. So, I'll be doing the mastermind call for today. Today's topic will be about Zapier integration update that we recently did. So, I'll be going over some of the just minor updates that we recently did with our Zapier integration process. And then after that, we can then proceed with the Q&A session. If you have anything specific that you want to ask me about our integration process, so just feel free to send those questions over on the chat. So yeah, one of the most recent update that we did with our Zapier integration process is the lead status. So previously, there are actually 4 stages that you can actually send the leads over from a particular Zap that you are going to create. So there's the no contact made section, contact made warm, and the dead lead portion. Now, with the recent update that we did, wherein you can now modify these stages here, which is the no contact made, appointment set, and due diligence section. So what we did with the Zapier integration process is we removed those sections or those stages, and instead we added the new leads section here. But the warm lead and the dead lead section is still here. So what's going to happen now is all of the leads that you are going to be sending over through a Zap is going to be added here under the new leads section. So you might want to consider checking your if you have like an existing Zap right now with any particular platform that you're using for marketing, may it be cold calling or an SMS blast platform. So you might want to go over those Zaps that you've set up and make sure that the lead status portion here is updated. So how you can go on this portion is you can just go to your Zap and then just go under step 2, which is create lead in REsimpli 3.0, and then just go under the action section and then look for lead status. And then another update that we did is with regards to the comment field. So this is actually pertaining to any notes or any information that you want to map and go into the activity log section of your lead. So what we did previously is that if you have a Zap that's mapped, or if you have a data or any information that's mapped under the comment field here in your Zap, it actually goes directly into, let me just pull up a lead here. So previously, it actually goes into the all section. So some users were having difficulties wherein they're not able to see those information or those data right away. So what we did is anytime that you map any information here under the comment field on your Zap, it automatically is going to reflect here under the com and notes portion of your Zap or of your of the lead in REsimpli. That way, whenever you're pushing a lead and you have like important notes added on that specific lead that you're pushing over to REsimpli, you'll automatically see those information here under the activity log portion of the lead for easy access. And then another thing that we also did is, oh, by the way, another thing that you also need to also make sure that is updated on your Zap is under the account portion here on your Zap, still under step 2. Make sure that your account is already updated to REsimpli 3.0. Now, how you can do that is you can just click on that existing Zap that you have. Just click on the change button here, and then just hit connect a new account. So it'll be the same process. Once you hit connect a new account, it will then ask you to put in your API token. So this one, it will ask you for the API token, which you can access here under your account on the drop-down menu on the top right, which is this one, API token. Yeah, if ever you have any questions, aside from sending it over on the chat, by the way, you can also, I think you can also unmute yourself and then just fire away with your question. Okay. All right. So those are actually the most recent updates that we did with the Zapier integration process that we have. So those are just minor updates. So rest assured, we are going to be looking into optimizing our integration process soon. And the next information, or the next thing that I'm going to be discussing, are the common issues that users encountering with regards to the integration process. So number one is the first and last name portion. So you might notice some of your zaps, depending on the platform that you're integrating, you might be encountering this issue wherein the first and last name are put together. So there's no space between the first and last name. Now, how you can fix that, it's pretty easy. So what you can do is you just need to go into that zap, which is connected to that lead. And then from here, just go under step 2, and then go to the action section. And then under the first name and last name field, you just need to add a space between the first and last name data that you map. Okay. And then next to that is the campaign and lead source. So these are also common issues and confusion that a couple users are encountering. So with regards to the campaign or phone number that you want to attach to the Zap that you're creating, so it also depends on the Zap that you're, or the platform that you're connecting with REsimpli. So let's say, for instance, you're you're doing an SMS blast campaign with launch control, and then you already have a phone number in your REsimpli account specific to those leads that you'll be sending over to launch control. So what you want to do is, on your REsimpli account, under the manage numbers page, you need to make sure that your phone number's lead source is under SMS blast. So you need to make sure that it's under SMS blast. And then the campaign name, depending on how you want to set up the campaign name. So let's say you want to put in launch control leads. Now, after you set up your phone number, so let's say this is now going to be the phone number that you want to attach to all the leads that you'll be pushing from your launch control SMS campaign. Next thing that you will do is, on your Zap, on the Zap that you're creating specifically for that campaign, you'll go under lead source here and make sure you select SMS blast. Once you select that one, right here at the bottom part, right below the comment field, you'll see the option to add the campaign for this Zap. So this is where you can now select the campaign phone number that you want to attach to those leads that you're pushing over to REsimpli. And then, next is the custom questions. So for the custom questions, so this is also one of the common issues encountered by a couple of users. So the questions that you are actually seeing here on the Zap, these are actually connected to the custom questions that you see on the lead intake form. So the lead intake form is actually the one that you'll see here. So if we go into the active leads portion, so these are actually the lead intake form question. So we have the motivation section, price, rental property section. So these are the lead intake form question, which you can customize. So if there's a need for you to add a custom question here, you can simply do that by going into the top right drop down menu. And then from here, just go under the custom questions section. Now, if in any case you are setting up a Zap and then you want to add that custom question, the first thing that you need to do is to add that custom question here first prior to setting up the Zap. That way, you'll be able to then see that question here in the mapping section of your Zap. So those are some of the most common issues that I've encountered while setting up some of the integration requests of our users. And let's see here if we have some questions. So we have a question here from Robbie Kirkley. So is there any way we can grab bulk information from the leads from REsimpli to transfer it to other platforms? Now, Robbie, just to confirm, are you pertaining to sending over lead information from REsimpli to another platform? You may unmute yourself if that's okay, just to confirm.
Yeah, that's correct. We're looking for pretty much all of the information from the leads so we can transfer it to other platforms to provide to our clients some information that they might need.
Got it. Got it. All right. Currently, that option is not yet available. So our integration process right now is only a one-way process. So REsimpli can only accept information or data from third-party sources. So as you can see, we only have two triggers available right now. which is create lead and create buyer. So that's actually something that we are going to be looking into. So rest assured, I will definitely inform Sharad and our backend team and check if that's something that will be that can be added on the pipeline or the roadmap of updates that we will be implementing in this system.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. You're very much welcome. And then, yeah, another question here is from Corbin. Is does that phone number have to be a REsimpli phone number owned host by REsimpli? Yeah, just to answer your question, not necessarily. So if you already have a phone number, a marketing phone number that you're currently using previously or that you're using previously with another platform, you can actually just transfer over that phone number to REsimpli. So all that you need to make sure is you set up the phone number accordingly, like in terms of the lead source and the campaign, so that once you set up a Zap and you wanted to attach or associate that phone number to that particular Zap, then you'll be able to map it accordingly, whether it's for your cold calling campaign or SMS blast or even pay per lead. So all you need to do is just to make sure that you're mapping that here accordingly. So the lead source needs to be um, corresponding to the phone number that you have here in the system or in your REsimpli account. Then once you select the right lead source, the campaign portion here will be then available for you to select the phone number. Okay. Did I answer your question, or does that answer your question, Corbin?
It does. And one follow-up question, does adding that additional phone number incur any cost if that phone number is like, let's say, a Google voicemail, a voice phone number, just because we don't want it to basically go from people like annoying phone calls and things like that nature, going to the office and things of that nature, just kind of have a little bit of a distance from it. While we
Right.
will review those messages, but just to have a little bit of a distance. But is there a cost associated with adding it to REsimpli?
Right, right. Actually, there is none, so long as the phone number is still covered under the total number of phone numbers that's included on your plan. So essentially, if we go here, oh, sorry. So each of the subscription plans that we have comes in with the free phone numbers. So let me just go here. So as for the basic, we have 2 phone numbers included, while the Pro has 5 and the Enterprise has 15. So if in any case you only have, like, let's say if you're on the basic plan and you only have 2 phone numbers that you're transferring over, so that will still be under the inclusion of your plan. So that will be free of charge.
Thank you.
But if you're asking with regards to the specific process of transferring over the phone number, there's no cost associated to that. So we can actually process the transfer of your phone number through our reporting process. So we do have like a designated team that takes care of that.
And then I guess a follow-up quick question. Sorry. So
Yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead.
yeah, if I have like if I put that number in there, will it be ported over? Or can it just be listed there for the purposes of the campaign?
Okay. Technically, it needs to be ported, or it will be ported over. So if it's with Google Voice right now, you'll have to, or the phone number will be taken off of Voice's hands. Instead, it will be transferred over to as a REsimpli number. So
Okay,
that
got it.
number will no longer be active on Google Voice's end, essentially.
Got it. Okay, great, clear. Thank you.
All right. You're very much welcome. And yeah, any other questions or clarifications regarding the integration process that we have, or about the integration updates that we have? Oh yeah, we have a question here from John Ezra. So importing, can we do it by ourselves? Technically, how the process looks like is that we will send you a link to the forms that you need to fill out, and then the process itself actually takes place on our back end. So just for your reference, here's the link to our porting process. See here. So here's the link to our porting process. So the documents included and the letters included is already on that file or on that link. And all you need to do is to just fill out the forms needed. and then our integration, or I mean, our reporting specialist will then take care of the process for you. And yeah, does anyone of you have like having issues right now with some zaps that you've set up yourselves, or anything integration related that currently is a challenge for your team that we might be able to look into? Yeah, we have another question here from John. Does it cost me anything? With regards to the reporting process, it doesn't cost anything, like the actual process of it. So all you need to do is to just fill out the form and then submit the necessary documents that's needed for the reporting process, and we'll take care of the rest. So there's no cost associated to that. That's a great question. So, John has a follow-up question here. How many days is the porting process? Now, usually depending on the originating carrier, where the phone number is coming from, but usually it would take around 7 to 10 business days tops, depending if there's no issues with the actual process of transferring over the phone number. You're very much welcome, John. And then, yeah, another question here from Ryan. So I'm newer to REsimpli and I'm setting up a carrot site for motivated sellers. Can those leads import via Zapier? And do you have a guide on the steps to do that? Yes. So Ryan, we can definitely integrate those your carrot website to REsimpli. So what we can do is we can use the webhooks by Zapier. So don't worry, I can actually send you a direct email regarding that process, and I can take care of that for you. So how it would look like basically is we will integrate the forms that's needed or that you have in your Carrot website that takes in those lead information, and then we will integrate those forms over to your REsimpli account so that it automates the process of whenever someone fills out that specific form in your Carrot website, that data will automatically send over to your REsimpli account as a new lead. You're welcome, Ryan. So yeah, I'll send you an email right after this call. And then yeah, another question from Corbin here is how we can keep the leads from an SMS campaigns here and launch it separate from the other channels that we market to. Okay. Just to confirm on this question, so let's see here. At launch is separate from other channels that we market to. Are you pertaining to the same SMS campaign but different market?
No, just different channels. So SMS is a channel,
Mm.
SEO is a channel,
Oh, okay.
Facebook, etc. Those are
Mm,
all
yeah.
different channels. And
Right.
I want to be able to separate them by individuals who are going to
Mm,
be marketing or actually following up on those leads. And then
mm,
eventually it's going to go to the acquisitions manager, right? So
right.
they're going to be warmed up by the SMS launch control campaign, then to an outbound lead manager. Then once those are qualified and screened, then they would go to the
Mm,
acquisition manager. But we wanted to separate that out and by different channels for
mm.
that individual. Then actually having, and the acquisitions manager is actually going to be working leads that are already existing channels that we have established.
Got it.
Does that make
Got it.
sense?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. So yeah, how you can actually separate that within the system is you can actually manage that on the campaign level. So when I say
Okay.
on the campaign level is on the phone number. So how you can do that is you can actually set up a separate campaign phone number for your SMS blast leads. Same thing for your SEO leads. And if you're running like a cold calling campaign, you can also set up a separate phone number for your cold calling leads. That way, whenever any of those channels are submitting leads, then they can just attach the leads accordingly to whatever campaign that they need to be under, and you'll be able to also keep track of the leads that are coming in. So that will actually also help you keep track of your KPIs accurately.
Yes.
So, yep.
Okay. But will they show up all on that lead column? If you go to let's see here, yeah, that active leads kind of thing. I
Mm,
want they all show up right there,
mm,
and I would prefer those to be separated out somehow by
mm,
channel, right? So that they
okay.
are only focused on that one channel, whoever is working
Okay.
it.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, you actually have two options in how you can manage that. So the first option is by manually filtering them. So let's say each of your um, each of your team members can go into your REsimpli account, and then once they're working on the active leads portion here, they can just manually filter the leads based on the campaign. So you can hit the filter button here on the top right, and then from here they can then select the lead source and the campaign of the lead that they just want to see on their end.
Okay.
Now, second option is you can automate this process by managing the access of your users on the campaign level. So let's say if you have like a
Okay.
designated person assigned to the SMS blast campaign and another person for the SEO campaign phone number. So how you can do
Okay.
that is once you add those team members in the system, like for instance here, once you add those team members, there is actually an option here under the role assignment section where you can
Got it.
assign or where you can decide which marketing campaign or which campaign phone number would you like them to be under. So like for
Got it.
instance, this user, Danielle, is actually my acquisition manager just for the primary market. And then under the
Okay.
primary market, she's just under the mailer list. So she doesn't have any access to the other campaigns that I have under my primary market. That way,
Got it.
whenever those users sign into the system, they will just see the leads that they have access to, which is the campaign that they're under or that they have access.
Okay. So when they, yeah, so they sign in and those are the only the leads that they see, correct? Right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now, one follow-up question with that then. So
Sure.
how do I get those leads then, that are being worked by that individual to finally get to, because once they're qualified, we
Mhm.
want them to transfer over to what we would call a buy call or internally. That would be maybe appointment set up with the acquisition manager. How do we then get
Mm.
to that lead then transferred over to that acquisition manager somehow through REsimpli so that it's now on their
Mm.
list
Got it. Got it.
once it's worked and
Um,
qualified?
got it. Got it. So another yeah, there are I think two options as well that you can do with that. So number one is you can give your acquisition manager access to all the campaigns in the system. That way
Mhm.
they can immediately see all those leads that will be transferred over to their bucket. Now, how you can determine what their bucket is depending on your workflow as well. Now, some of the users that I've spoke with, this is what they do. Like for instance, you have your appointment set section here. So this is
Yeah.
essentially where your acquisition manager can focus on. The other ones, like the new leads, no
Okay.
contact made and contact made, you can have this taken care of by your lead managers. So your acquisitions
Okay.
team can just focus on the appointment set.
Correct.
So how you can manage this now is you can go to the manage user portion again, and then on the acquisition manager team member that you have, you can edit the access. And then under the lead permission section, you can take away their access for the new leads, no contact made and contact made, and just have the appointment set and the rest of it open or have access, depending on how you want to set it up. That way,
Okay.
if your lead managers are working the leads from the new leads, no contact made and contact made, your acquisition managers will not be confused if they need to work on those leads. Since again,
Yeah.
what you can do is once the lead is pushed over to the appointment set section, your acquisition manager will be notified and will see that directly on their end. And that means that those are the leads that they need to look into, essentially.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely, you're very much welcome. So again, that's something that I've also noticed from other users, like in terms of best practice. Okay. So we have a question here from Linzen. So right now you are getting a Zapier alert. It says possible error on your Zap. So it seems that this has been escalated. Now you may actually check this. So this is actually another common issue that's being encountered by majority of the users. So if you actually get an email notification saying that there was a possible error on your REsimpli Zap, how you can actually check what that specific error is you can go back to your Zapier account, and then from here, just go to the main page. And then from here, you can go to the Zap history portion here on the left panel. And then from here, just go under Zap runs. Now the Zap runs section, this is where you can actually check and see all the Zap that tried to push through and that failed essentially. So in here, you can then check on which particular Zap run did actually fail. And then you can just open that. And then right there, it will then show you the information of what was the error. It may be the phone number is missing or the property address is already an existing lead on your account. So don't worry, Linzen. I'll send you a direct email after this call so we can have it checked. And nothing to worry about the leads comment. I'll also check and see what's going on with that. Okay. Okay, and then I think we have another question here. Oh yeah, a follow-up question from Linzen David. So you are having you have some concerns too on the mobile app. Once you tap on task, instead of viewing the leads info, it is being routed to the edit task page. The pending tasks that are due are not in order. There is no option to filter them by date. We have escalated this concern to your support agent, but she haven't received any updates yet from the backend. Yeah, don't worry. I'll check and follow up on this, Linzen. I'll check with our support team and see who's handling this, and we'll take it from there. I'll see what's going on and what's the update on that. I'll also send you a follow-up update on this via email, together with your Zapier integration concern. Okay. All right. So yeah, any other questions, clarifications about the integration process? Yeah, another question from Hector. Will REsimpli assist with creating the Zap to allow leads from need to sell my house fast account? Oh yes, Hector. So I'm very sorry about the delay on your integration request. So I think I may have missed that on my end. I didn't see it right away on my bucket. So rest assured, I'll be working on that today, and it should be finished today as well. I'll send you an update, okay? You're very much welcome. All right, so yeah, any other follow-up questions, concerns, or anything that we can check regarding the integration process or integration feature that we have within REsimpli? All right, but if in any case you have like questions or anything that you need assistance with, anything integration related, you can also email me directly. My direct email is anthony@resimpli.com. So I'll just put that here on the chat. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for your time today, and appreciate you jumping in the call with me. And please feel free to, again, get in touch with me if you have any other questions, concerns, or anything at all that you need help with regards to integration with REsimpli. Thank you, and take care, everyone.